Spider-Man Brand New Day is shaping up to be the hit movie of the year, and with good say. I have actually seen the movie myself, and I can't say it should be a hit movie. Now, of course, I'm talking about their box office opening. It earned a $360 million in the United States and Canada, passing Avengers Endgame for the largest domestic box opening weekend ever. In addition, its worldwide debut is approximately $932 million. Which is only second to Avengers Endgame in box office openings. This is, of course, without North American IMAX screens, which are reserved for the Odyssey. This is insane. Just think about the numbers it's putting up without having to use one of the most expensive movie theaters and a place where people are regularly going to be selling out tickets. So $360 million without having a movie theater showing like the Odyssey. And the Odyssey is already turning out to probably be a box office $1 billion again. So you've got both of these huge movies in the theaters, and yet somehow Spider-Man Brand New Day can blow away one of the biggest movie debuts ever. Avengers Endgame was so hyped up. It was the end of an insane sequences of movies. This is something that is truly incredible for a movie to do something like this. I think it also shows that people are willing to go see a superhero movie. There have been previous discussions about superhero movies potentially being, unnecessary, unneeded, people wearing down and not really wanting to watch them anymore. I think this very clearly shows that people are willing to watch superheroes movies if, one, they actually have a good reason, and two, the movie is actually generally somewhat likable. Spider-Man has the advantage in this scenario, and that they've had a storyline for the past couple of years building into this. They've had a storyline that can fit into the other movies. They have done a great job of adding in new characters, keeping the characters strong, giving them good development, and that is something that Marvel and DC have not done. Ever since the end of Endgame, Marvel has not done a great job of developing characters, keeping them close to their strengths, and giving you someone you can root for. DC just has the issue of they have never been able to figure out what they're about. And so they can't ever build a character, they can't build a timeline, they can't build a story. Whereas Marvel, they did build a story, they built a timeline, and while it did have some flaws, it was mainly something where you had people that you could root for. Heroes that were slowly being built and tear down and built again. Every single movie built towards something, and the recent movies you haven't seen Marvel do that. However, Spider-Man has been building a story since Homecoming, essentially. They have been building something that is now paying off. They are giving you emotional payouts, they're giving you the plot payouts, they're letting you follow the story of someone in a way that's spread out, and so you don't get Spider-Man weary, but also in a way that builds on the last. You see a different part of the character. You see a character not staying, but slowly maturing and changing. And that is something that Spider-Man Brand New Day did really, really well, is they brought you a Peter that was he had the fun of Spider-Man, but obviously he's grown up a bit. He's a bit older, and he is something that you would see if you followed the timeline of this character. And so that is why I think this movie is doing so well. It has an actual storyline behind it. It has a character that you want to root for as well. Tom Holland is an outstanding actor, and he has done a great job as Spider-Man. He's really captured, the hearts and minds of the people that really enjoy his, especially the Spider-Man movies. And the way that he has played the character and the way that they've built him, he's someone that you want to root for and see succeed, especially after everything that, he went through, especially in Far From Home. You really just want to see this guy succeed in the next movie. You want to see where he goes. And I think they did an excellent job of balancing the Spider-Man movies through, worldly consequences, such as in Spider-Man Far From Home with the multiverses collapsing, or in, say, No Way Home, where it's more based on just Peter himself. And I think in Brand New Day, they have done an excellent job of bringing in new villains and old heroes, old faces as well. So what does this mean? Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think, is a sign, for superhero movies, that as long as it's a sign for Hollywood as well. As long as the movie's good and you've put a plot behind it, it doesn't seem implausible. It doesn't, you keep it kind of ground low. You just you focus on the movie itself, and you don't try to push it towards anyone. The movie itself will do generally quite well. Spider-Man Brand New Day was not designed for any one specific person. And they made sure they didn't cast with controversy. And so they have been able to fly under the radar of anyone saying, maybe we shouldn't go watch this movie because we'd be supporting something that we don't agree with. And it is now having that payout of a $932 million worldwide on, I believe, a $250 million budget. This is insane. I think it also does something really well of its filming on set. Of course, they filmed in England, Glasgow, Scotland for a lot of the scenes. I think that is something that is incredibly good, and it really pays out over the course of the movie, especially in a couple of the scenes. You can really tell that they are filming on location, that they are trying to put this effort in, and it really shows through some of the scenes. Now, what does this mean for Hollywood, for superheroes, and for Spider-Man? Let's start with Hollywood. For Hollywood, first, it shows build the movie and the payouts will come. People are still willing to see good movies from good directors. The Odyssey is proving that with a huge box office opening. Christopher Nolan is a great director. I know that there has been controversy surrounding that, but people are willing to see a good movie that has been well written, has great cinematography, and so people are willing to go see that. And with Spider-Man, the story is well laid. It's an original story. Not original, it's Stan Lee, of course, but a more or less original. It's not like a remake or a repeat, and they're not trying to push anything. They're just trying to make a movie and put it as part of their storyline. I think this shows that it will pay out for you. And finally, for the superhero movies itself, it shows that, one, split your superhero movies apart. The Spider-Man movies have all come in decent range apart from each other, and so there has been able to build your tension, your weight, and you've been able to build that up. But each of the movie also has a little bit of rewatchability, so you can go back and rewatch it if you want to. I think it also shows that I think Avengers Doomsday could potentially have a bigger box office opening and a bigger appeal than some people think. I know that there has been words of saying potentially this won't do very well because, one, Avengers hasn't done well in recent years, and two, people are tired of superhero movies. No, I don't think they're tired of superhero movies. I think they're tired of bad storylines and plot lines. So I think this could be a good showing for Avengers Doomsday. I think people are going to be hyped for the movie following the success of this one, and I think it shows I think it shows that superhero movies are still viable if everything is done well. And finally, what does this mean for Spider-Man? I think that the opening for the next Spider-Man movie, probably 2028, I think it'll be just as big, if not larger. The ending of Spider-Man Brand New Day left you off in a place where you really want to come back and see more. But if you enjoyed this discussion on the Spider-Man movie and you want to hear more movie news or music news or entertainment news in general, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Tell me your thoughts on the Spider-Man movie and future movies coming out. And thank you so much for watching.